When General Electric sells for more than $7, that house will be able to be bought. Right now, it's not a $7 stock. It's psychologically a $7 stock.
Nobody really knows the extent of the liability of their finance division. So they could be suffering from guilt from association, the fact that people pulling money from mutual funds. A lot of hedge funds have had forced sales, the people pulling money from hedge funds. We don't really know the extent. There's a lot of things that people do not know. People are holding on to money. Institutions are holding on to money because really nobody knows where the next skeleton is.
So how do we break through that?
According to
there's not an overnight solution to this, by the way.
New York Times writer Joe Nakora said, he said just recently, General Electric, the last time General Electric cut its dividends so low was during the Great Depression. If GE is in trouble, God help us all. And GE is now down to $7.06. That's General Electric. General Motors is down to $1.45, and Citibank is down to $1.03.
You see, GE, this might be a financial crisis that GE doesn't really survive. It's within the realm of possibilities. Today's GE is very different than 1930s. By the 1950s, they were making TV sets. GE does not make TV sets, even though I think there are TV sets with their brand.
Financial is there big.
Well, they make jet engines, as their commercials say, generators. Well, they make parts for power
and they
plants.
also have I have a GE long-term term insurance, long-term care
Yes,
insurance.
they wanted to finance. They sold part of that finance before a few years ago.
And I have that. I don't know what's going to happen to me because GE's not going to be there. My long-term care is going to be
I think that's going to, no, I know GE still has a AAA rating, actually, interestingly enough. I'm not sure that it's the most important company in the country. It may not be in the future. By the way, I disagree.
Yeah, go ahead, John.
You're changing subjects. I want to get back to this issue. The president is able to do more than one thing at a time. I certainly agree with you on that.
I wanted to get back to that as well.
Okay, well, perhaps you could add on my feeble comments on that. Bill Clinton said it best when he ran for election. It's the economy, stupid. And he and his team focused like a laser on the economy. I think the president is diluting his great abilities and the great abilities of his staff, setting up summits on education, summits on universal health care, discussing pre-K education, all of these wonderful things that maybe we should have in the future. I think they could be postponed for a period of months, a half a year, a year or so, and what have you, and to focus exclusively on the economy. I think the people would have much greater confidence in where we're going than they currently do.
Let me tell you
even
why
though the confidence is high.
Let me tell you why I disagree with that. At the beginning of the president's term, he's at the height of his popularity and the height of his powers to persuade the public to do what he wants.
And some of those programs are stimulus.
Some of those programs,
that is very true, by the way.
Some of those programs are stimulus. But if he doesn't do it now, next year is an election year, which means nothing's going to happen next year. So that means you're actually putting things off to 2011 and the next Congress.
Why would next year be an election year? It's not election year.
The congressional.
2010, it's a congressional election year.
So they don't
and during that year,
there'll be a lot of different congressmen. Is that what you're saying?
Just like every 2 years, the entire House of Representatives and a third of the Senate is.
So I wouldn't overstate this. Every other year is a congressional election year, of course.
But you see nothing get done on even numbers.
I have to disagree with John a little bit because you want focus, you want commitment. This is a serious challenge. It's not going to end the country. We are the strongest country in the world. You need to take it seriously. It's not totally psychological, but if we start saying, oh, we're not going to worry about education, if you don't want people panicking and suddenly the White House says we're going to lock ourselves into the White House, this is sort of what Jimmy Carter did in the Iran hostage crisis, and that's really bad. First of all, we need to say we are going to do our best with medical care. We'll continue. In some ways, we have the best medical care, but we also have challenges. They didn't come overnight. They've been growing over decades. But we need to continue to work on all these issues. We are not a one challenge, one problem country. But by the way, as far as being very decisive, we've won an election. There has been unprecedented action that began even before Obama took over. There was unprecedented coordination economically and probably in foreign policy between the Bush administration and Obama. I think that we're being very aggressive, and our political system is not perfect, but things are getting through. You might not agree with the PIG
Michael,
project, but you're right. It's probably
Okay,
stimulating.
but you
but
guys
Michael,
are
let me just-
looking at the government, and I'm looking at the people.
I want to look at something.
If you tell them we're shutting down everything
guys,
but the
guys,
Treasury Department, you're going
I
to
have
really
to control
panic
this
people.
We
panel.
have to change
I
the
gotta
mindset.
control this panel.
We have to change the mindset.
Okay, but
Whole
what about?
switch.
Yeah, let me just. I'm gonna. Yeah, I can't control this panel. You know, guys with one woman. Let's put it this way.
You're helpless.
Let me just. I feel helpless. No, socialism has become our new scare word. And it's been getting a lot of nervous attention lately. Some politicians warn that the government stimulus package and aid to financial institutions could put the country on the road to socialism. Do you think that we're on the road to socialism?
Absolutely, and it may not be a bad thing. Look, the United States is a welfare state. It will continue as a welfare state, a greater welfare state as time passes. The only issue is how we're going to pay for it. Now,
Yeah, how are we going to pay for all the health care and education and
you'll
everything?
have to
Who's
either
paying
raise
for it?
taxes or you'll have to grow the economy. Or lessen services, ration medical services, ration out your defense spending and what have you. I think you have to. My preference is to grow the economy, which means great freedoms, globalization of the business world and what have you, enlightened regulation of business enterprises, and grow the economy.
We've got too much excess is a problem. We've had 8 years of excessive, let's believe in the economy driving the goodwill of America. And let's let the government be diminished, and that's the Republican approach. To its excess is a problem. The Democratic approach to its excess is a problem too. But when government works, I think what Obama is saying, I think we need government. Just as if we said to all of the retirees around here, Social Security, do you think it's a good thing or a bad thing? People are going to say it's a good thing. And what the government is, the government is us.
But you're
We're the government.
You're factually off on that. When you say 8 years, like it or not, the serious deregulation started under Bill Clinton and Robert Rubin.
Philosophically,
particularly when it comes to the
when Bush took over.
Philosophically, Republicans believe in a weaker government and a stronger private sector. Okay, the Democrats believe that governments can work for you. Now, if Obama can make parts of the government work for us, I don't think we should call it socialism. We should call it America working in action.
Well,
sure,
but
It depends on how you define socialism.
Right.
Yeah.
And I don't think adding 3-point-some% to the tax rate for those who are making over $250,000 constitutes socialism.
fair.
I don't
that's
either.
a 10%.
Let me
just say something. Is Obama playing Robin Hood here?
No, he's not.
Is he taking from
No,
the rich
he's not.
and giving? Wait. Is
I
he
agree with
taking
Michael.
from the rich and giving it to the poor? What are your thoughts about
No,
it?
but-
And is anti-success rhetoric by placing a high rate tax rate on people who could still earn money, rewarding failure?
Okay, so no, wait.
Failure,
And punishing
Bad
success.
term.
No, I think that
I'm going to throw this out.
I think
I'm going to play
I
devil's
think that
advocate.
we need to understand that we're facing a massive deleveraging, and asset prices have gone down massively. Stock, real estate, debt, bonds, securitized debts. They have crashed. We have lost trillions of dollars from the economy that are gone. So it's not about having too much money, too little. Keynes still basically is right. The government needs to deficit spend. It needs to basically make up for that lost money. And many
Is that socialism?
No,
it isn't.
I mean, many people feel that actually social benefits, which often automatically up when people get unemployed.
I think we missed the point of a lot of this. What's happening in the economy is not some billionaires becoming millionaires. Who cares?
Okay, so
No, let me tell you.
It's thousandaires becoming nothing.
It's the guy. Last night, NBC had a
That is
program.
socialism. That is
Had a
socialism.
program on their newscast. Had on a tent city in Sacramento, California. Now, I went to law school in Sacramento, so I'm familiar with the city. And this is generally considered one of the nicer cities in this country and one of the more prosperous cities in this country, and it's having a huge foreclosure rate. There's 1,500 people living in tents on the outskirts of town, 50 people adding to this tent city every week. That is what this economy is about. It's about the guy who has to take his dog to the shelter because because he can no longer afford to feed it because he's living in his car, and that's
Our economy is hustle.